All right, Greg, we are live. Thank you so much for taking out some time, man. Um, I want to jump right into the hot news of you writing and directing this film called Forbidden Sky, which just successfully funded on Indiegogo. What can you tell us about this film, man? I'm dying to get some info.
It's been like 3 or 4 years in the making of it. I made a movie called Miracle Valley, which was about cults, and that sort of pushed me into being intrigued about UFOs. And I was living in Arizona during the pandemic, did a lot of research, took a UFO night tour, and came up with this crazy story. And interviewed people that have supposedly been abducted, different societies of UFOs, non-believers, and all that. So yeah, I came up with the script, and then over the past like couple years, UFOs have been talked about so much. And I even went to the Roswell 75th anniversary crash festival
Oh,
and
wow.
there interviewed more people. So it's really, yeah, the movie it's a crazy story. It revolves around a small town radio host who used to be on a very bad sci-fi TV show that was canceled.
Okay.
And then he never let go of that persona. He thought like something's really happening. This show was saying something. That's why they wanted off the air. So he has tried to keep his character alive through this radio show, which is a total joke. Lives in the middle of nowhere in Roswell, New Mexico. But out of nowhere, late one night, this alien ship is orbiting Earth and they only want to speak to him. So suddenly he's now the mediator between this alien race and Earth. So he's now legit. And it's sort of veers into a few of my favorite different films: Galaxy Quest, Fire in the Sky, Ex Machina. So it's really going to be a fun project that I can't wait to dive into.
That's awesome, man. So, who else is going to be involved? You got anyone lined up for the cast besides yourself?
So we just launched it. I'm hoping to have my an actor that I absolutely love. He was in Best Friends. He was also in Miracle Valley. His name is Rick Edwards. And
Okay.
together. And yeah, we're gonna have hopefully a few other really great people in it. Some great effects people, teams, and so we're gonna be filming on location in a few different places. Um, so I really want to do practical effects and really do something different.
That's wild, man. And now that the film is funded, you guys, ended up making like $219,000, which is amazing. What's the next step for you? Like what's the next thing you're gonna do?
So we're just gonna probably start shooting early next year at some point.
Okay.
Going through different drafts of the script. I'm actually working on the script with my editor who did Disaster Artist, who I did the book with. Um,
Okay.
so we're really, at the end of the day, every movie revolves around the story and the characters. So we're really taking our time with that and getting it right.
Sure, sure. That's right, man. That's cool. And what would you say so far has been like the biggest challenge of bringing this film together? You know what I mean?
I would say just time. I know when I had written the script, the idea has evolved into what's the most fun story to tell. So I think it's developing the story and getting it right, and really giving people a good time when they come to the theater. Make sure you give them something that's good pace and entertaining.
Sure, sure, sure. Of course, man. And let's talk about The Room. It's celebrating its 20th anniversary, which is amazing because I saw it in theaters 20 years ago, and it's still, a popular film. Did you think you would be discussing this film 20 years later?
No, I think that's one of the amazing things about it is you make movies, especially back then. I had no idea who would see this film, where it would go. I was really doing it, as a to help out a friend make a passion project. And yeah, it's a movie that around the world people love and it brings people together. There's no movie that I've seen in a theater that gives an audience that good of a time where they leave the theater and they're exhilarated. And I think that's what any filmmaker hopes to do. And that's what's funny about The Room is, it's gone through a bunch of iterations of what it is. But after 20 years, I've come to realize it's a movie that really unites people.
Sure. Yeah, man. That's true. Very cool. And what do you enjoy most about watching the movie with fans today? Because I know you've been to a couple screenings recently.
Yeah, so I don't really watch it unless I'm doing like a little Q&A live commentary thing,
That's
but
cool.
I'll see a little bit of it. Really, every crowd is unique and they bring something new to it. Even people that are seeing it for the first time, the laughs, the uncomfortable, the cringe. It's fun. So I always, it's always fun to, peek in and see what people are doing. But it's just, yeah, it's really overwhelming that people still show up years later to watch this movie almost every month.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. I love it. So, for you, what's it like being friends with Tommy Wiseau? I mean, I've interviewed him twice. He was super nice both times, what's it like being friends with that dude?
He's unique. And I will say I've, met him 25 years ago, tomorrow.
Oh
25 years
wow.
met on July 12th. And he's stayed true to what he said. He wants to be a filmmaker. He wants to make movies, and he's pulled through and he's done that. So he stayed true to who he is.
That's cool, man. Definitely, definitely. And how about your involvement with The Room Returns or the remake of The Room Returns with Bob Odenkirk? What's going on with that?
That was a reading for charity that was done, and I think it'll I don't know, they're putting it together and stuff and figuring all that out. But it was a really cool thing, and it was just great, another thing for the room, obviously. But I think people will get a kick out of it.
It was shot in one day, I read.
Yeah, it was all done in one day on a green screen.
Okay,
And it was just, it was done basically a reading and
sure.
green screen. And it's just, yeah, it's really cool to see some of your favorite actors or say some of that dialogue.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I dig it. And you come back as Chris R. So that's pretty cool, getting to step into a different role.
Yeah, still looking for his money.
Yeah, you know it, man. And so also I know we kind of talked about this last time we met, but what's the deal with this movie Big Shark? You're not involved with this movie, right?
So I helped out initially. We did a trailer, and then Tommy's gone on and he's made the film, and there's special events that have been showing it. And people have seemed to have a really good time with it. It's one of those things it's so cool to see this audience show up and root for a movie and interact with it. They really make the theater come alive. And so it's I'm not in it, but I helped overall.
Cool, 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 cool. That's awesome, man. And for you, I was a big fan of the Disaster Artist. I thought it was a great book, and the film adaptation was great. What was it like seeing Dave Franco portray you? Was that a trip or what?
Yeah, no, the book was something that I always envisioned that story as a movie.
Sure.
And so as it was coming together, I imagined that happening. So definitely was less of a trip than I think if it just came out of nowhere. But
Sure.
it was great. I mean, it was just cool to see how much people had fun making that movie. The cast was incredible. Dave was so fun to work with. So it was really great across the board.
That's awesome, man. I love it. And after, your success with that memoir, do you have any plans to write again, like book format?
I'd love to do. I mean, there's so many stories to tell. I'd love to maybe do like a podcast of
Ooh,
travels I've done and the stories I have, something along those lines. A book is obviously amazing. I really want to do, you'll appreciate this. I really want to turn my Home Alone sequel and Disney World screenplay into either a children's book or a graphic novel.
oh, shoot.
So that's sort of the next thing I want to write is take that story that I wrote as a 12-year-old kid, which made me fall in love with storytelling and do something with that. Home Alone and Disney World, something in there I think could be really fun.
Sure, sure. That's awesome, man. I love it. All right, so and I got time for one more. So you got a couple other projects in the works besides Forbidden Skies, or anything you want to throw in that you got coming up, or
So I made a movie about a movie called Miracle Valley, which came out last year. It's going to be released wider this year for Halloween. It's a horror film.
oh, sweet.
It's on Tubi right now, but it's called Miracle Valley. I wrote, directed, starred, produced. Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
There's not many sex scenes in it, but It's a fun movie, and it'll be coming out this October in wide format, and it's on Tubi right now though. So yeah, that's where I want to go more into genre filmmaking.
Cool, man. Yeah, I mean, you find it easy to wear all these hats, write, direct, produce. Is that difficult, or is it
Yeah,
something you're
that's
passionate?
some really good help, like along the lines. It's definitely good to focus on one or two of them, you know. But luckily, I've had a team that's really helped me out.
That's amazing, dude. I love it, brother. All right, listen, I appreciate you taking out some time. I can't wait to see where Forbidden Sky goes. I'm gonna be first in line, man. So, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon. So,
Yeah, I'll see you down in Florida sometime soon.
thanks, brother. Appreciate it.